Right, this is something that I've never done before, and I can only apologise for myself. But I've never done a video on Madeleine McCann, and I suppose the reasons for it is because I'm really not that much, well, I know that more than most do, but I'm still, there are people who know way more than I do, and I would suggest that you look for their videos, videos Heidi Ho and Richard D. Hall. They're the people who've got the factual basics down. Me personally, this is my list of things that basically I just can't get over. Look, over there, that's Chester. He's my big old nugger, isn't it? Yeah, alright then, Sheldon. Well, good boy. Totally can. Right, so basically, reasons why I don't believe the McCanns to be innocent. Now, I'm not saying they're guilty. I don't think they harmed their daughter. As Katie Hopkins neatly pointed out, she was left to be found, and that's what I think. There is zero evidence that there was a break-in in that apartment. Yet on the night she went missing, both Kate and Jerry rang up their closest friends and family and said that somebody had jemmied open the shutters and got in through the window. And there's a lovely bit of video of Kate with the whoosh of the curtains. I walked in the door and the curtains went whoosh and it pulled the door shut, that kind of thing. Now, it was proved by the Portuguese police that there was no forced entry, that window was shut. Thus far, there couldn't physically have been a whoosh because it wasn't open, and the only fingerprints on there were Kate McCann's. Right? So they changed that and then said that the perp had obviously come in through the side door that they'd accidentally left open on the last visit. Why didn't you mention that at the beginning then? Why are you saying whoosh when that didn't happen? And then when it proves that didn't happen, it's like, oh, no, it wasn't that. No, it was a door. Right, that's just one thing. I've got to check my list to make sure I get everything in. So they lied about that. They changed, all of that fandango. Their lies are something which just keep on coming. They change their stories to fit, and always have done. Then we've got the fact that there were both cadaver and blood dogs that went to the apartment, and they smelt the scent of cadaver, which is dead bodies. There was the smell of dead bodies and the smell of blood in that apartment. Now, there was no registered death in that apartment whatsoever, ever. So how can that physically have happened? Now, the McCanns will just go, oh, no, that's bullshit. And Jerry McCann will repeatedly say there's no evidence. What do you call the scent of death if it's not evidence of wrongdoing? And it's not, the scent of death wasn't just scented in the apartment. It was also in the back of their hire car, which they hired weeks later after the disappearance. It was found on Kate McCann's clothes, and she explained that away by saying that several people had died in her GP surgery that week. For some reason, she'd taken those clothes without washing them on holiday. And also, so she'd taken dirty washing. She'd taken dirty clothes on holiday with her. Dirty clothes that were stained with the scent of death. Right? But Madeleine McCann's teddy bear, Cuddle Cat, she put through the washing machine. and the scent of death was smelt on there too. Right, okay, so I'm just going to go through my list because otherwise I'm going to get well rage-bold, right? There's the fact that they left their children alone in the first place. Now, the people that usually attack me for even suggesting that they're remotely bad people will say, like, it wasn't that far away, blah, de blah, de blah. When you're on holiday, even if you're at Skeggy on a caravan park, 4 feet away from you is too far away for the kids to be. Do you know what I mean? You never do know, especially in today's society. And also, I've heard somewhere, I can't, don't quote me on this one, but I heard somewhere that Portugal is a bit of a pedo place to be. It's quite renowned for paedophilic activity. So it's like, you take it somewhere where they've had known paedophilic activity, and then you leave your children that are too young to defend themselves on their own. Now, I remember when I first heard about it, right? And my daughter told me, oh, if you heard this, as a little girl's gone missing, and Mum and Dad went out for dinner, and I was like, they left her at home, are you taking the piss? What if she, like, woke up, like, what if she choked on her own vomit? And that's what I originally thought, that they'd sedated her, because they're doctors, and they have sedatives, and I was like, how can you go out for dinner, even if you're on a neighbour's patio, mate, even if you're on a neighbour's patio, you do not leave the house you're in when there are youngsters that are in any way in any danger, let alone go round a corner, because to get into there, you had to go out, round the houses and back round to where they were going. It's like, yeah, you could see it from there, but that's not the way you got to it. You had to go round the back and up that way. Too far away for minors to be. You do not have children and leave them at ages under, I would say, 13. Occasionally, like kids will grow up. You can leave them from, like, sort of 11 or whatever. I would never do it. I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I was reported to social services once, actually. My daughter is now 27. I was reported to social services by an anonymous caller when she was about 3, 4, something like that, right? Somebody had anonymously called social services, said that she was being left alone in the house while I went out to work every day. I worked at a radio station at the time. Thankfully, I had a fully qualified childminder, and she worked with special needs kids and things like that. So she was well known and highly respected. I can't thank her enough, because literally I just put them onto my childminder, and she's like, no, she comes here every day. But that was somebody just being bitchy. But I wouldn't, at that time, if you look down from where I used to live, like, my road was like a little bit bent, and then you got at the end, like, the post box. And I wouldn't go from my front door to the post box and leave my daughter in the house just while I was running down to post a letter and come back. I just couldn't do it, right? So we're talking about people with completely different sets of parental morality, if you will. Well, from me at least, but from many people that I've encountered and that I'm thankfully friends with, right? Now, on the night that Madeleine went missing, what do you think that Kate and Jerry did? Do you think they went running and said, what are we going to do? Like, how can we find her? Legging it in every direction? No. Jerry spent the night on the phone to Gordon Bryn. Fellow Freemason. And I've got to go, because apparently this will only record for 10 minutes. So I'll come back with part 2 in just one sec.